Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, live on WBON TV Channel 9 and on radio at WEKY, WKXO, and WIRV. Also brought to you by Bishop Small Engine Repair, Bluegrass Restoration and Construction, the Law Office of Patrick O'Neill, Nuevo Vallarta, the Richmond Raceway, and Affordable Service Solutions. Now let's go live to your hosts, Michael Watkins, Samantha Burford, and Dawson Rule.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome into the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, live tonight at Lake Reba for the EKU season kickoff. Samantha, Dawson here with us. We got some EKU royalty kind of in the house, Samantha.
Do.
We got Parker McKinney joining us here on the show, along with Mike Smith Jr., defensive back for the defense. And guys, welcome into the show. First of all, I know it's been kind of a fun summer, and this is, I think this kind of shows where EKU football has gone here recently with having this kind of kickoff to the season event and more of a wrap-up to what you guys have done this summer. And I don't know about you because you hear Coach Wells talk a lot more than I do, but when I hear him talk about what he just spoke about, Parker, it makes me even more ready for the football season to begin, because I feel like every time Coach talks to us, it gets us even more fired up that the football season's here.
Yeah, no, Coach Wells, he's really good at getting people fired up about the football season. One thing I will say that, like, him and his staff did great this year is doing stuff like this for us and letting us, be able to be with one another and kind of get to know people beyond just the football field, which I feel like is great for us. Kind of getting that extra, like, chemistry with one another, getting to know each other better has been awesome for us.
Well, Mike, talk about on the defensive side of things. I know you guys have been busy too. What's it been like being out there this summer with the team and trying to build on what you all did last year? Because last year was a great season. You accomplished a lot, but there's still work to be done. Getting in the lab this summer and building on what you all did last season.
Right. We've been in the lab working pretty good. Going over plays and start working hard, building that chemistry with each other, so when we go out there in the field, we can execute the way we need to.
Okay, I was making sure my mic was working. All right, guys, talk to us about today. I mean, how important is this to your team, the bonding, the getting to know each other? I mean, even Parker, you coming back again for another season. I know everybody's super excited about that, but you have to be excited to meet some of these new guys here and be bonding with them, be kayaking, doing all the fun things out here at the park today.
For sure. No, it's huge for us as a team. If we're a team that wants to win a lot of games, building that bond with one another is one of the biggest things whenever it comes to playing the game of football is, trusting the guy next to you and getting to know them. And like you said, we got a lot of new faces out here, a lot of new people. And so stuff like this, getting to eat with one another and kayaking and, playing cornhole and all the stuff that's out here, it's super huge for our team.
I'll ask both of y'all this question, Parker and Mike. In your time at EKU with the football team, how have you seen the program and the team and coaching staff, literally everyone, grow from when you got here to where you are now? What's the growth been like?
For me, I've been here what feels like forever. I've been under two different coaching staffs. Kind of just speaking on the coaching staff that we have now and that we've had for the past, I think, 4 years. I feel like with them, it's just like, I feel like with everything, it's just trial and error, doing stuff that they think is going to work or doing stuff they know is going to work. And then the next year looking back, okay, maybe we shouldn't have done it this way or shouldn't have done it that way, and then adjusting. I think they're great at adjusting and doing different things. And at the end of the day, they're just trying to make us the best they can make us on the field and off the field. So, I think that's huge for us.
Right. I agree with that. When I first came in here, last year, we was at a pretty good point where we was last year, but I feel like this year we're a little bit more advanced and off a good season from last year. You feel me? We just going with the same energy that we had from last year, and we just picking up, what we left off at, and then we gonna go from there.
In an age of the transfer portal, Parker, for you, especially with the kind of season you had last year, what were the conversations like after the season with Coach Wells, with Matt Roan, to talk about, okay, yes, I've got some opportunities, but I want to stay here. What were those conversations like, and what really drew you to staying here and building on what you helped build last season?
Yeah, it was definitely some tough conversations between them and my family. And a lot of it had to do with what was best for me, like kind of getting to the next level. I've always kind of been a humble guy, but it was hard not being kind of like selfish, like what should I do? What should be best for me? And that's kind of like the only time in my life where I've really had to think that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I told Coach Wells the first time I met with him, I was like, my heart's at EKU. My heart's kind of always been here at EKU. And I would love to stay here. And, there was like a couple weeks of just kind of uncertainty. And then obviously like towards the end, I was like, yeah, like I'm coming back. I'm staying here. Like, I'm ready, kind of to make my last ride here.
Mike, same question for you. I mean, everybody can enter the portal after the season's over with. What was the conversations with you? Like, what made you want to stick around and continue trying to build on what the defense did last year and you as a team?
Right. Well, when I first took my visits and stuff, I was taking different visits. But when I came to Eastern, it was like a family-oriented place. So when I first got here, everybody welcomed me, and then it just showed a lot of love. And I feel like that's very important when it comes to recruitment and stuff like that, because once you make somebody feel like they're at home and a family, it kind of make the decision kind of easy. So, I've been rocking since I first got here, and I'm gonna continue to do that.
Well, guys, some changes have happened this year. Obviously, the big change going from Adidas to Nike. You got your swag on over there,
Yeah,
Mike. Tell me about it. You got to be excited about switching. Both of you talk to us, but Mike, tell us first.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I always kind of been a swoosh guy, but in high school, my team wore Adidas. But I knew at my previous school, I stayed with Nike, so I kind of got adapted to the Nike. But I feel like that's a big switch for us, and it's a big jump for us to do certain things, and it's gonna be a great look during the season.
Yeah, for me, I've kind of been Adidas my whole life, so this is kind of my first time going to Nike. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Getting some new gear and new stuff. I'm excited for it. I know a lot of the other guys are really excited as well.
Talk about y'all's outlook for this season. Obviously, you want to win and win the ASUN and move on in the FCS playoffs, but just at the season as a whole, what are you looking at? What are you looking forward to, and what do y'all want to accomplish?
There's a lot of different things. I think the biggest thing with this season is not looking too far ahead, just kind of taking it a game at a time. Obviously, we started off with two really tough opponents, probably top 25. I don't know their initial rankings, but we have a tough schedule, and I think as a team, our goal is to make a long run in the playoffs. And I feel like kind of anything short of that, I feel like we're underachieving as a team.
I agree. Coming off the season last year, we made it to the playoffs for the first time in a long time over here. So I agree with Parker. Like, we definitely have to take it game by game and step by step, because when you look too hard advanced, then, that's where you kind of mess up. But if you take it week by week and game by game, then I think we'll just keep unloading and keep accomplishing the goals that we have for the season.
Parker, for you, you've been around. You talked about this program for a long time. You kind of went into the pandemic, came out of the pandemic. A lot of things have changed since then. But what do you think has been the biggest difference? Obviously, we're in a new conference. Talked about the Nike, Adidas, new coaching staff. But as far as the feel around EKU football, what do you think is the biggest difference from where you were when you first got here to where the team is now?
I really think a lot of that can be attributed to Coach Wells.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's huge in the community for trying to pull people and get people to come out to our games. And they've done a lot of stuff just around EKU to promote EKU football. I think he's done such a great job of that. And then obviously like getting like the new lights and new different things with the stadium just to make the fan side of it, kind of more entertaining for them as well. So I think a lot of that can be definitely attributed to Coach Wells.
I think nowadays you see it even and if you go to a Bengals game, there's going to be inflatables for the kids. There's going to be stuff that attracts you to come other than what's being played on the field. So it's more of an entertainment aspect than just football. And I think EKU and Matt Roan and everybody that's involved has really bought into that. From the time you come in there and you start tailgating to the time you leave when the fireworks and the light show are going off, it's really a thing to see, and it can really take up a whole Saturday for the family. That's really, I think, the biggest difference. I agree with you. And we've asked everybody as far as Coach Wells goes, asking all the players every week that we've talked to. He really feels like a player's coach, and you guys can probably attest to that. What do you think makes him so easy to be around and just the kind of person he is? Give us a Coach Wells story. Is there a moment where you're like, man, this guy, he's one of a kind? You probably got a few.
I guess I'll go first.
There you go, yeah.
I remember last year when I first got in fall camp and stuff, I was like that, like talking trash, because that's what I do like during practice and stuff. And I just know Coach Wells, like, he just got back on me, like he talked the trash back. And then I remember the next play. I remember Jaden Higgins, our receiver last year, Parker had him throw a deep ball to him in practice. I hadn't gave up like a big post, and I was just mad. I was like, dang. So it kind of brought that competing, maturity out of me, and then helped me, to stay humble, but still compete to a high level at the same time.
Yeah, for me, I feel like there's probably a lot of different stories. I mean, some probably aren't coming to my mind, but like the one that I remember was the COVID year. My first season with Coach Wells, we were playing team from Texas. Can't think of their name.
Alcorn. No. The one that the kid
Sam
from
Houston.
Okay, Sam Houston.
No. Houston Baptist.
Houston Baptist. Okay.
Houston Baptist. Anyways, we were playing the game and we ended up losing. I ended up fumbling like the last drive. We could have made a run and ended up coming back. I ended up fumbling. I remember I was so upset after the game, and I just remember, kind of like watery eyes going to him like, sorry, coach, like that's my fault, like whatever. And, he was kind of like, okay. And I remember like the next morning, like as soon as I woke up was a text from him, like, I love you, buddy. Like you're going to come back better. And then after that, that kind of like was like the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
A little confidence reminder, right?
For sure, yeah. It was great. That was kind of like my first, real big impression of him being like a player.
I have to do that to these two all the time. They mess up on the show. I have to send them a text. I'm like, hey, come back next Monday. We'll get back in the lab.
Listen to him. We do just fine without him, Dawson.
That's true. They have done good this summer.
All right, guys. So my question is next is, you talked about some of the schedule. You guys are really traveling a lot further now with the ASUN. So you're going to Utah. I mean, this is a big deal to get the team prepared out there.
Yeah.
Everybody in the hotel rooms. More exposure, TV cameras. Tell us how excited. Is there one game that you're most looking forward to? But talk to us about how you both as senior members to this class are going to get this team prepared.
Yeah, we have a lot of, like you said, long trips. Obviously, we're going to be flying. I know at least 2 games we're flying to. And so that can kind of be like a task in and of itself, just kind of getting the guys to focus like, hey, this is a business trip at the end of the day. I think that's the biggest thing is just making sure everyone's mind is in the right place. And, like, we're going there for one reason, and that's to win the football game, obviously. And then, a game we're looking forward to. Obviously, we got a lot of big games on our schedule, a lot of good games. And, I said earlier, kind of taking it one game at a time. But I feel like for me, the one I'm kind of like most looking forward to is the Gardner-Webb game, just because they put us out of the playoffs, and I felt like, they kind of took one from us there. So that's kind of like the big, I know it's non-conference, but that's one I'm looking forward to.
Me personally, I feel like more of like the first 2 games of the season is going to be the games that we're looking forward to, just off the fact that I think it's going to prepare us for the rest of the season, 1, and I think for 2 it's going to show us like how far we are and how advanced we are when it comes to competition, because it is, a different level and a FBS style of football. So, it's just going to really put us to the test and really wake us up for the rest of the season.
When you guys walk off the field, whenever this is for the last time at EKU, what legacy do y'all want to leave behind that fans can remember?
For me, being a quarterback, I want to be known as someone like a good decision maker. And then, Coach Wells, like when I first got here, his biggest thing was like quarterbacks are like, they're never going to remember any record you have, any stat you have. They're going to remember how many games you won and how many games you lost. So for me, it's just like walking off the field knowing like we won as many games as we possibly could this season. We didn't let any games get away from us and that type of stuff.
Well, to that point, I did play quarterback for my intramural team when I was at Eastern Parker, but I will not be remembered for making good decisions. So that's a fact. But
That's
Mike's
a lifetime for
well,
you.
that's true. That's true. Mike, same question for you.
My legacy, I feel like I just want to leave a legacy I kind of want to lead Eastern Kentucky in interceptions for some reason.
Okay,
That's just something I'm striving for. So that's a goal that's always going to be, I always like getting picked. So, that's something that I'll be looking forward to.
I think, we talked about the legacy that you guys are going to leave behind. I feel like you all and the team specifically, there's a lot of hype surrounding you. And last year, there was, but I feel like it was more around locally than now you're ranked in the FCS top 25. There's a lot of accolades coming around preseason, especially for the offensive, player of the year preseason. Talk about those and talk about the difference being added with a little bit of added pressure and some of the expectations going into this year that maybe weren't there last year. Are you guys handling that? Are you paying attention to that? Kind of what's going through y'all's mind when you look at those expectations?
Yeah, kind of like you said, us making it to the playoffs last year, there's big shoes to fill, and with that comes a lot of pressure. I think your question is kind of like still to be determined. We're about to start fall camp. we got a lot of work to do, but we definitely have like big shoes to fill and a lot of like standards that we have to live up to as a team. And, I think that's a challenge, but I think that's a challenge, we're kind of taking head on. And, this whole off season, we've been working so hard to make the playoffs, like not just making the playoffs, but to make a deep run into the playoffs as our goal, as opposed to what it was last year. So, like I said, we've been working hard, and, hopefully we're able to have a great season.
Me personally, I feel like with the acclimates and all the attention that we get in preseason, I feel like it's great. It's great to get the attention and it's great for the acknowledgement. But I feel like it all comes down to the season and what we bring to the table, because you can have all the acclimates and stuff, but if you don't be productive and if you don't do what you got to do throughout the season, then it really don't matter.
I got a quick question.
Yeah, one more question.
Hey, do you have superstitious things that you do before games? Are you superstitious at all? And then talk to us about your families too. Do they all come to the games? I know you guys live a little further away, Mike.
So with me, my family is from Florida, but I do have a superstition. I do call my mom before every game. Like after we do warm-ups and stuff, I have my shoulder pads and stuff on. I just call her, and then she kind of give me that last little bit of confidence I need after I see her face.
A little pep talk.
Yeah. So
she say if you don't, get 3 tackles or anything, she's going to drive up to Richmond one more time.
I mean, she not one of those mothers. She like one of those mothers always proud of me. So,
yeah, for sure.
So she just really give me my confidence. Like, you've been doing this for a long time. Like, it's nothing new. Like, this is another day.
Parker.
Yeah, for me, my family, they come to every game. Like even my freshman year when I wasn't playing, they'd still travel to
from
all the
Coalfield,
games
right?
From Coalfield, yeah. For me, my superstition, before every game, I like to be in the calmest state possible. So I'll listen to whatever music on the way there. But once I get there, I listen to Christian music. I'll Bible verses for every game. That's kind of I'll look at Bible verse for every single game.
Okay.
And, that's kind of my
No Taylor Swift or anything.
No.
Okay.
Listen, Coach gets fired up. He plays that tough music when you guys are walking down that hill.
I like to be calm.
Well, I've never been around Parker and him not be calm.
Yeah.
And that's one thing
That's what makes him a good quarterback.
We've asked a lot of your teammates when we've had him on. We've seen Parker during media day and when we're around him. He's always kind of cool, calm, and collected. But talk about him outside. They always say, well, he's competitive. He knows what to say to get you fired up. But that's always been the consensus
and
when we talk about Parker McKinney.
They tell us you're funny.
Yeah. Mike's probably got a few stories about Parker. Have you ever picked him off in practice, Mike?
Actually, no, I never picked Parker off, but that's definitely one of my dreams.
There you
to pick
go.
Parker off in practice.
Well, when that happens, you have to let us know about it. All
That's
right?
Michael's dream too.
Listen, when Parker does what I do, so my record in intramurals, one game, Parker, I threw 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
The next game, I threw 6 picks. So hopefully you don't have those kind of numbers.
That's a bench. That's bench worthy.
Was that middle school?
No, it was intramurals in Eastern. We won 2 games. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you all for coming. We're gonna let you over get some hot food and enjoy yourself tonight. Appreciate y'all stopping by, and good luck this season. All right.
Thank you guys for having us.
Parker McKinney, Mike Smith Jr. from the EKU football team. We'll step aside, folks. Lots more to get to. We'll be joined by Rixon Lane, Coach Walt Wells, and more right now on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Whether you're in the market for a brand new Chevrolet, you're looking for a pre-owned quality vehicle, or your family car is in need of service by our GM certified technician, Jack Burford has what you need. Come to Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond for all of your automotive needs. Family owned and operated since 1964, Jack Burford Chevrolet is your hometown Chevrolet dealership. Check us out at jackburford.com or come in and see us today. We are located on the EKU bypass across the street from Walmart.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, We have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Coconut, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 Northwest Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
The Beast of the East roars back to life for their 2023 racing season. Most Saturday nights, some Friday nights, you can take the whole family down to the Richmond Raceway for some good family fun. Watch the drivers race around the 1,584 feet clay track for some big winnings. Children 10 and under are always admitted free. Gates open at 4. Racing starts at 6. The Richmond Raceway. Greens Crossing off Highway 52 East and RichmondRaceway.net. Unleash your inner beast at the Richmond Raceway.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
When perfect is in the air, you can feel it. Presenting the new Ultimate Comfort System from Lennox, the most advanced heating and air conditioning system ever.
Call 859-779-0122 now and get the best Lennox home comfort systems at a price you'll love. That's affordable heating and air at 859-779-0122 or online at affordableheating-air.com.
Hi there, I'm Alan Feldhouse Jr., head basketball coach at Madison Central High School. Here at NCHS, we have built a winning team. And I'd like to tell you about another local winning team, family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. They specialize in roofing, general construction, and home maintenance services. Just like on the court, you need a team that will work together to get the job done. And that's exactly what BRC does. Give them a call at 859-353-1133. Road Tribe.
We're back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, and we are feeding our faces with, I want to make sure I get this right, Rixon, Bluegrass or Bayou and the Bluegrass Catering supplying this food. And, folks, we may take another commercial break and let us run through these plates.
Michael, you're finishing the show. Dawson and I are going to eat.
This is incredible. Did you get a plate, Rixon?
I did. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's legit.
So good.
Man, okay, let's get back to focus here. Rixon, so we've been talking football. I just had Parker and Mike on, obviously, and you've been sending us a couple of players every week. To me, I think it's really cool getting an inside look to some of these guys. There's different personalities, obviously, on the team. Even just what we had here. Parker, kind of the quiet, silent assassin. Mike, the trash talker, So those two guys, kind of the different personalities. But you see this every day with this team. But it seems like there's a pretty good mix. When you look at these guys, obviously, you get to know them on a more personal level. Talk about what you see and what makes this team special.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a good mix. Like you said, you've got the whole spectrum of personalities. You've got the guys who are kind of the silent, lead-by-example types. And you've got the guys who, are get a little more into it and kind of like to put their nose in the grindstone like some of our guys on defense do. So I think the key is, you've got a bunch of guys that just enjoy being around each other. Yeah. And I think that's been the thing that a lot of people on this team, when they've come on y'all's show, and we appreciate all y'all have done to promote those guys and what they're doing over the summer. But when they've come on, I think a lot of them have talked about it's just a closer vibe. It's a tighter-knit group than they've had in years past, and that's the goal. You want that to get closer and closer to that, everyone kind of pulling the boat in the same direction. And I feel like this year we've got that more than they've had in years past.
I really have enjoyed getting to meet them all. We've met, over the years, we've met so many players. Yeah. But it's been fun to see how you've categorized them, sent them to us, and whether it's been offense, defense. Last week we had special teams. Mm-hmm. Talk to us about how you picked the two together. I mean, obviously, but they had to be in town, obviously. But give us your thoughts on that.
I mean, I picked the two that Coach Wells tells me to send.
There you go. There you go.
But such and such.
Yeah, exactly. I got a list and said this is when they're going. I said that's when we'll send them then. But I do think that part of that process is you want guys that and obviously you want guys that are going to represent the program well. And all these guys do a great job, and you do want that mix. You've got some guys that are new to the program. You guys had Logan Blake in. He's first year in the program. You guys, Parker, who's been here for a dozen and a half years at this point.
Some transfers.
Yeah, you got new transfers coming in. You've got a guy, like you said, we had Jonathan and Patrick last week, who their experience of college football is a lot different than the other guys on the field. So I think it's just cool to get the people of Richmond and people that watch the program to see how many different types of individuals we have on this team and to get their experiences, because no one on this team has had the same experience in their college career.
Rixon, what would you say it's like being a part of EKU football now that it's more popular than it's been in years? I mean, last year was pretty good, but this year, obviously, the hype is more that EKU is going to have a really good year. What's it like just being a part of the day-to-day process and knowing that the community is really kind of coming around EKU football again?
I mean, it certainly beats the alternative of people not being excited about it. I mean, it's fun to be a part of a program that has such a high standard and now trying to get back to that standard. That's exciting, I think, to be around that and kind of see that progress being made every day. Not to say that, it's not fun to be at the standard, but getting there and seeing the guys, seeing what it clicks, okay, this is what we're trying to get to. This is what we have to do to get there. That's fun, and it's, it's fun being around college athletes in general, man. It's nice being around people who are very talented at what they do, but very driven, very motivated, very dedicated to a craft. And for me, that's the fun part, is being around guys and seeing the progression. This will be my third year with the program. And, it's cool seeing guys who were, in their COVID year, their redshirt freshman year. Now you're coming up there, in their third, fourth year of the program, and how different they are now than what they were in August of 21. That's fun to be a part of, and like I said, I mean, it's really testament to the group that this coaching staff has put together. You just got a bunch of guys that you enjoy being around. That's the best part. You don't dread coming into work and being with these guys. It's nice to see them around on the practice field, around campus. It's nice to interact with them, and fortunately, I get to do that a lot.
That was going to be another question. I said, you're more behind the scenes, but I feel like your job never stops. I mean, whether it's posting on social media or talking to me and Dawson or whatever the case may be, you're constantly promoting this team. Talk about your job and really how your job has changed since you came to EKU, and where were you at before you came to Eastern?
I was at Lander University in South Carolina.
So obviously things have changed since you were there with the age of social media and the way you promote teams, the way you make reels and things like that. So talk about really how your job has changed in the last 5 to even the last 2 years since you took over here at Eastern.
Yeah, it's different in that, obviously when I was at Lander, we didn't have a football program. So this was my first job working with football, which is a lot different than being in a place where, the women's basketball team is the biggest thing on campus, or the tennis team. So that was a different step. It's going from a Division II program to a Division I program, and obviously the things around. I don't think the job necessarily is that different, but the things that surround your job are so much bigger. There's a lot more going on. There's a lot more moving pieces at a program of this caliber and this size. And then being here, since August of 21 when I got hired, a lot of things have changed in that we've made a lot of inroads into the Lexington media and getting folks from WLTX and Fox 36 and ABC 36 and Fox 56. They're not going to come back now that I can't remember their call lines, but
we'll be there.
I know we can always count on you guys being there. But getting those people that maybe hadn't been around the program as much, getting people from the Herald Leader down here and talking to our people. We got Media Day next Sunday and expecting a big turnout for that, and just kind of getting more and more people to make the connection that, as you've mentioned, the people in Richmond going, oh, this team's got something going. We've got something building here. And getting the people around not just Richmond, not just in Madison County, but around the state to realize, hey, they got a really good thing going over at EKU. And, and it's like Coach Walt says, we're not trying to tell anyone you got to pick a side. You can like someone else and like us too. We just want to be a part of it. We want to be the team that people go, hey, we got nothing going on this weekend. Let's go to Roy Kidd. Let's go see what they're doing. Let's go to Fan Day on the 26th and see what they've got going on. Let's get more involved with this program because we like the direction they're going in, and hopefully we've seen these guys and we like the guys they have in that program and we like what they're doing. So to me, that's the biggest part of my job, is just making sure we're getting that sort of promotion out for these guys. We're letting people know, hey, this is why you need to come be a part of what we're doing. It's not just about us. We need everybody here. We need 20,000 people in the stadium 5 times, hopefully more than 5 times this season. We need everybody here. So to me, that's the goal. How do we get as many people to find out about EKU football as possible every single day?
Well, you mentioned it. Talk to us about Fan Day. What can people expect? It's August 26th, right?
Yep.
I think it starts at 5.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about it so that we can get some people out there.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We do it in the first portion is in the Rick Erdman Olympic Sports Training Center in the gym there for fans that came in last year. It's a big area. We have all of our guys sitting around on tables around the edge. So we've got posters we're going to hand out. People can come in and get autographs from the players, chat them up a little bit. You get to talk to them in a more of a one-on-one personalized setting. So that'll be a lot of fun. We'll have games going on in the middle of the floor. If you got young ones that want to come in and do some play, maybe try on a helmet, put on some gloves, take some photos. We'll have stuff like that going on. Outside, we're going to have a live DJ. We're going to have food trucks. We're going to have music blaring. I think we're giving away ice cream vouchers to the first couple hundred people that walk through the door, so you want to get there early for that. We'll do all that from 5 to, I think the players leave at 5:45, and then at 7 o'clock they're going to scrimmage, and it's a wide open to the public. Anybody that wants to come in the stadium and get a first look at this team, you know, a week before they go to Cincinnati. It's the last time you'll get to see them in action before the season actually starts. So it's going to be a great time. We had a great turnout last year. I think last year was the best one we've had since I've been here, and this year it's going to be a lot of fun. We're really excited for it.
Well, we're kind of excited. You know, Michael and I, we're planning on coming to Cincinnati and the UK game. Yeah. We're trying to come up there and hopefully get to do a show. So
I'm going, but I'm just going as a fan.
Can we ride with you, Rixon? You got can you fit us in the van?
I got room, yeah.
Unless they make me work, I'm going as a fan.
It's always more fun to go as a fan.
It is.
Well, I just think, you know, seeing what you've done since you took over as, you know, with this job, with this position, I really feel like you've promoted the team well. You promoted the players well, and it's cool getting, for folks that just watch, you know, social media, they don't come to a lot of the games, getting an inside look when you do the goal-to-goal thing that you started doing on social media. So for folks out there that are watching, tell them where they can go to get more information, the Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, the places to go that they can get the information they need to find out about this team, the upcoming games, and things like that.
And to get tickets.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've got on Instagram, we're at EKU_football. On Facebook, we're at EKU Football. I don't know what this Twitter thing you're talking about. It's called X now, Mike.
Sorry.
We're on X.
Sorry, Elon.
We're at EKU Football on Twitter as well. EKUsports.com is where you can go to get your tickets. We've got a big announcement coming up tomorrow in terms of tickets that people are going to want to know about. So the season tickets are already on sale. There's links on our social accounts, and there's links on the website to get those as well. You can call the ticket office as well. Raymond White, we want to make his life miserable with phone calls in the next couple weeks.
We can't get a jump on the announcement. No chance that we can do that.
No.
I don't want to get you in trouble.
My boss is around here somewhere.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Is Matt here?
Matt's here somewhere.
Okay, we'll grab him then, so if we can get the announcement.
Yeah, if you can pry it out of him, that's fine, because I got no problem if he announces it. But so we've got there's plenty of ways you can get involved with us, and like I said, we've got season tickets are on sale right now, and it's 5 Saturdays. You can plan over things around the rest of the fall. We just need you for 5 Saturdays, and hopefully more once we get into November.
And they're all themed.
Yeah.
And I love how you guys are having, you just announced the times, but you're having themes for all of them, bringing back teams. It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, we're in the entertainment business.
Exactly.
It can't just be about the game. We're these guys here, like, all they have to focus on is the game, and that's the part that we need them to focus on. We in the department, we got to make it a show. We got to have the lights, we got to have the themes, we got to have the good halftime experiences, we got to have people on the field, we got to do all that stuff, because it's a driveway to driveway experience. We want people from the time they leave the driveway to come to Roy Kidd Stadium to the time they pull back in and say that was fun, whether the game goes well or not, because they don't always go well. We hope they all go great, but if the game doesn't go well, we still want to say, hey, that was a fun 4, 5, 6 hours that we spent with this event, and we want to go back. When's the next one? That's what we want people saying when they get back home.
Well, thanks, Rixon, for stopping by. I know you stay busy, man. We appreciate you coming over. We want to have Coach Wells come on and talk to us next. Hopefully he's not too busy to come by and
He
speak
might be
with
out
us.
there kayaking.
He
You
might
never
be.
know.
And him and Matt might be out there on the kayak themselves. We'll see if we can catch him.
He was fishing earlier, and all he caught was algae. Sorry, Coach.
Don't tell him all his secrets, Dawson. We'll step aside and come back, folks. EKU football celebrating the kickoff to the season and wrapping up a great summer here at Lake Reba tonight. We'll step aside and be right back on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Whether you're in the market for a brand new Chevrolet, you're looking for a pre-owned quality vehicle, or your family car is in need of service by our GM certified technician, Jack Burford has what you need. Come to Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond for all of your automotive needs. Family owned and operated since 1964, Jack Burford Chevrolet is your hometown Chevrolet dealership. Check us out at jackburford.com or come in and see us today. We are located on the EKU bypass across the street from Walmart.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cadet, Grasshopper, EKU, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
The Beast of the East roars back to life for their 2023 racing season. Most Saturday nights, some Friday nights, you can take the whole family down to the Richmond Raceway for some good family fun. Watch the drivers race around the 1,584 feet clay track for some big winnings. Children 10 and under are always admitted free. Gates open at 4. Racing starts at 6. The Richmond Raceway. Greens Crossing off Highway 52 East and RichmondRaceway.net. Unleash your inner beast at the Richmond Raceway.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
When perfect is in the air, you can feel it. Presenting the new Ultimate Comfort System from Lennox, the most advanced heating and air conditioning system ever.
Call 859-779-0122 now and get the best Lennox home comfort systems at a price you'll love. That's affordable heating and air at 859-779-0122 or online at affordableheating-air.com.
Hi there, I'm Alan Feldhouse Jr., head basketball coach at Madison Central High School. Here at NCHS, we have built a winning team. And I'd like to tell you about another local winning team, family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. They specialize in roofing, general construction, and home maintenance services. Just like on the court, you need a team that will work together to get the job done. And that's exactly what BRC does. Give them a call at 859-353-1133. Road Tribe.
you dwell on it. It's kind of like, it's not good to say because I just lost my brother, but it's like losing somebody. You go through all your stages of why did it happen? How are we going to fix it? What are we going to do to fix it? And, I've had meetings with our coaches, our players, and everybody in between on how we're going to improve off that. And it's not so much just worrying about Gardner-Webb as it is worrying about why it happened.
Yeah.
And why didn't we go out and perform the way we should perform. And, offensively, we did some good things in that game. Proud of those guys, but defensively, we just didn't really play well. And me and Jake sat out and talked a long time about it. And we've gone through some things and talked about things. And, part of it is the culture of the program is growing.
Yeah.
All right. We've got to grow it to where we want it to be. And, we're compared. If you're going to be the EKU football coach, if you're going to be at EKU, you're going to be carried to one man and one man only. And that's okay. I think that's a great thing because it gives you really high marks to be going after, right? High expectations are what we want. So, Coach Kidd did a lot of great things here, and I was so blessed to be a part of his staff and learn from him. And all his great coaches that he had on that staff. And so I went back and looked, and I really think the main thing, we got to continue to recruit depth and get players in here and educate our players and teach them and all that. And I think we did that. I think our coaches did a great job. But we didn't have a toughness factor that I wanted to have. And, and that's on me. And so all winter, all summer, it's been cranked up on them. And we haven't had many stray. And so, and the ones that have strayed, some of them were asked to stray. And so, I think that shows the culture of our program is where it needs to be because people aren't just leaving to leave. I mean, we lost Jaden Higgins. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but I get it. We lost somebody else that went somewhere else. I can't even remember. So, other than that, we've had some injuries. We've had some things that hurt us. But, the good thing now is with no cap on who you can sign and how many you can sign other than the scholarship allotment amount. We can bring them in like we brought somebody in last week, and I'm looking to bring somebody in next week.
Coach, you guys have sorry.
And that's just kind of the age of the transfer portal, though.
Yeah.
When we had Patrick and Jonathan on last week, and they were talking about they had just brought in another special teams guy, I think, the week before. So it's just the age of the transfer portal. And and I asked him, I'm like, do you guys think that's a good thing or a bad thing? And they said, well, it's good for competition. That means, you bring somebody in, we got to step our game up.
I tell every player that comes in this program and have since I took over, my job is to recruit players to take your job.
Yeah.
And your job is to keep your job.
Oh, I love that.
And you have to recruit that away.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, if you're not recruiting, your team's going to look bad. Willie Taggart used to say this all the time. If you're not, if you don't recruit, it's like brushing your teeth. You're going to look bad, right? and he's right. And so, I mean, we've got to continue to bring the players in. They're out there. We have to be patient. We have to walk through it all, find them, wait for it, all that crap. And it is a mess because there's a pecking order.
Yeah.
And we're not at the top of the pecking order, contrary to everybody's belief that's probably watching this. We're not, but that's okay. It doesn't mean we're going to get bad players. Okay, we're going to go find good players, and we're going to find ones that probably a lot of people think are bad, and they end up being good. So that's just part of the process, part of the evaluation of what you're doing in your roster management in your team.
Well, Coach, reading your shirt makes me super excited, but.
Oh, yeah.
The Nike or the Champs?
No, well, both. But, the ASUN Champs. So you've got a lot of preseason accolades that have come to a lot of your players this season. There's a lot of high expectations. So talk to us about that. I mean, it's important that you've got these guys out here bonding, but that ASUN championship,
it means something.
You want it again.
That's right. We want to be the only one. We don't want to share it. Yeah. We don't want to do anything. We were fortunate to play a tough enough schedule that we got the AQ qualifier. And that separated us from the other two that shared it with us. But we want to, and I'm sure Austin Peay says the same thing. Central Arkansas says the same thing. And then we got all the WAC members in. It's a tough conference. And that's what people don't know because they don't know it. It's a tough conference that we're in. But, our goal is to win the conference. I don't talk about it much because I shouldn't have to. If you didn't come here to win a conference championship and go try to win a national championship, then don't come here. This is not the place for you. It's going to be too hard. It's going to be too demanding. It's going to be a lot of time-consuming, all those things. We're going to run this program as close as we can to an SEC program. And That doesn't mean we're going to win like Alabama or Georgia. I can't guarantee all that, but I can promise you this. I don't worry about what all the preseason people say because, you know, I'm glad for these guys because they love it. It's good for recruiting. It's good for fan engagement. It's good for all that. Perfect. But keep the main thing the main thing. If you don't watch out, you may go get embarrassed at practice, you know, on Wednesday when we start. And so you better start making sure that you're taking care of yourself. And every day, I mean, I just want to win the day. I really do. And I don't look at, you know, everybody, you know, this weekend and other, you know, what about Cincinnati? I don't care about that. I really don't. I played all those teams before. I've beaten them. I've lost to them, all that. I want our team to go out and represent EKU football the way it's supposed to. And at the end of the day, I want teams to say, damn, I don't want to play EKU football.
Yeah.
I don't want to play them because guess what? They're coming at us full throttle. And that's what I'm going to tell the kids tomorrow when I talk to them. That's what our goals are. To be a champion is one of them, and to go out and dominate every day like we want to our opponent. And if we'll do that, we got a chance.
Coach, I kind of asked Rixon this. What was it like working around the team and how it's improved and how it's changed since he's got here from where it is now? I kind of want to ask you that same question because EKU has gotten better. And I'm not, you know, just saying it's it's a whole team effort.
It's everybody.
But for you, what's it been like from the time you got here till now, like fan engagement, team performance, a little bit of everything, improvement-wise? What's that been like?
Well, I think it starts with leadership, okay? When I came here, Dr. Benson was on his way out. We had no athletic director, okay? And I came here on a hope and a prayer of the administration being something that was going to support us. Had some inklings to what was going on, but, you know, you never know. I knew Matt from my previous stop here. We had stayed somewhat in contact the whole time. So I was very happy when I heard Matt was wanting to come back. President McFadden known for a while and was very excited about having an EKU man, an EKU alum that wants to bring his university to the forefront of Kentucky universities. So I was very excited about that. So I think you start with that, Dawson. Everything that we have is administration-driven. We're all on the same chain right now. And we get off of it some, but we all work together to get right back on it. And usually when I do something that they don't like, you know, we get off of it. And then we talk about it, and either I stop it or they understand why I'm doing it, you know. And that's been awesome. The players, okay? Nothing against the players when we got here, but the players that they all have been in our system now going on to 4 years.
They're
that means a lot.
Yeah.
And you know, Michael, I don't buy into that. They're your guys. And the reason is the guys when I want, you know who was here when I got here? Our best player.
Parker, yeah.
You know who was here when I got here? Our two best tackles. You know who was here when I got here? Nick Cheeley. That's it. But those guys are my guys, just like the first-year guys that were here are my guys, you know, Jackson Bardall and some of those, you know, all those guys.
Well, I'm a Walt Wells guy, Coach.
But,
just FYI.
well, I appreciate it. But we have to push these. I mean, people are lazy at heart.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be honest. You know, I'd rather be on the lake right now than probably doing this. But, you know, that's not what that's not what I'm built to do. And we have to push everybody beyond where they've been at. And that includes administration. That includes assistant ADs. That includes the janitors. And people get mad at me a lot. But, you know, you got to push. And it's not that I don't care about them. It's not that they're not great people. But we've got to push them to be the best that they can be because guess what? When they're their best, you know, like Ricky, you know, our guy that cleans our building and everything. Ricky's the best. Every morning I walk in, hey, Coach, how you doing? And I say, Ricky, you having a good day? Great day if you want one.
There you go, yeah.
And he works hard in there. He's the only one in that whole building. And he works hard. Well, I need him to because when we bring a recruit in and he doesn't know it, it needs to look good. And so, you know, we talk about that all the time, being recruit ready and all this stuff. I'm just really proud of where EKU is going because this is my third trip around the sun here. And, you know, the first one was Coach Kidd in the Thunderbrook area. And, you know, there's a lot of, you know, problems there. But, you know, working for Coach was, you know, what could you ask for as a young coach more than working for a Hall of Famer, right? And then the next time was with Dean Hood on his last year, and you know, you could see how it maybe had dipped a little bit. And now you see that people are excited about trying to do the things that we want to do, not only with our football program, but with our university and everything that goes on. I think Richmond's such a great town.
Yeah.
I think people gotta join in and decide to make it even a better town.
Well, you were talking up there, and we were sitting over here, and I was ready to put some pads on. Just hearing you talk about the season, you said that this was kind of a thank you to the players and coaches for working hard this summer, and let's kick off the season. So today's kind of a wrap-up to the summer and a launch into what's getting ready to take place.
Right.
How important are things like today, for not only for the team, but just for the wives and the kids to come out and, okay, we appreciate you. We'll see you in 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, it's like I told somebody the other day, we're putting the women and children to bed and we're going out hunting. Yeah. And, you know, that's what we're doing. And I don't mean that in any disrespect, but my wife, you know, now has got a little break. My son's 18 and my daughter's 23. But, you know, I look at Jeremy Hawkins, I look at, you know, Eric Losey and all these guys that got wives that got, and there's more. I mean,
Coach Day's got a couple
Franklin,
young ones.
you know, everybody does. And I love having those young kids around. I love it when they come over to the office and they're screaming up and down the hall. That don't bother me, you know, because I remember when KJ, my son, was doing that. You know, he'd sit there and watch film with me for hours upon hours, and I'm like, did he learn anything? And now I know he did. And I think that's important. But to show appreciation to, you know, we asked every staff member that touches our program to be here today. And we can't, you know, not everybody could make it, and I get all that. And, you know, that don't bother me. But, I think it's important to let those people know, hey, you know, because sometimes I don't. They don't think I appreciate them, but I do. Yeah. But I got to push because somebody has to push everything forward because, you know, EKU deserves that. These players deserve that, and this town deserves that.
Well, we got to take a commercial break. You got one more?
I do, because you mentioned a minute ago about the shirt, but I want to know how excited you are about the switching from the Adidas to Nike.
No, it's great. I mean, Adidas was really good to us.
Yeah.
But the way things were going with Adidas and everything, Nike's such a recruitable.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that thing does it all, you know. And
it does.
They gave me a pair of Air Force, whatever.
Air Force Ones?
Man.
Or whatever.
Oh, man.
And I'm wearing those.
Wow.
And, you know, everybody's like, ooh. You know,
Coach is decked out in the drips.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what it's called
I had
now,
no idea what it was. You know, I'm like, yeah, they're just brand new shoes. Somebody just gave them to me. I don't care.
Yeah.
But my son noticed it.
Oh,
you know, recruits notice it. Everybody likes it. Everybody's comfortable. Everybody's where they're at. You know, you never can please everybody. But you know, Al Holland and BSN have done a great job for us. Of course, Al's a former player, so you know he's going to take good care of us, and he has. And I'm really excited about that part of it. You know, plus we get new banners in the stadium and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, So Al's dad, I played against Al's dad, who's a legendary coach up in the mountains of basketball. Yeah, so I got to play against him. I don't think we ever even got close to beating an Al Holland team, but there's a little relatable story there. But Coach, always a pleasure talking to you. I know we're 5 Saturdays away from EKU football, and
get your tickets.
It's right here. Go ahead, EKUsports.com, folks, is where you got to go.
And go to Fan Day.
Yeah, Fan Day is coming up on the 26th.
Right.
And
we'll be there for that as well.
That was such a big event last year. Such a big event. Now, you know, everything that happened after that day, we're going to just skip on to that day.
We won't talk about that.
But we got our CPR certification today as a staff, and you know, it's been a busy summer, but it's been great, and I'm excited to see. You know, we got a lot of new parts, so it's going to be training camp's going to be a lot of teaching, and I'm extremely excited about that.
There you go, folks. Check them out, EKUsports.com. Get your tickets now. Dawson and I will be there before every home game, hopefully for a couple of road games. Yeah, we'll have some fun with EKU football this year. Coach, good luck this season. We'll talk to you at Fan Day, I'm sure, and kind of get some more updates how the last 5 weeks have gone since then. But always a pleasure talking to you.
Well, thanks for y'all coming out today. I know it's been a good day, actually, weather-wise, but sitting here in the sun. And, you know, you guys do such a great job for Madison County and Richmond sports. I mean, it is unbelievable what you do and how important it is for us to get the word out.
Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Let's step aside for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll look at that schedule and tell you about some of the big games coming up for EKU football when we wrap things up here at Lake Reba. It's the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Whether you're in the market for a brand new Chevrolet, you're looking for a pre-owned quality vehicle, or your family car is in need of service by our GM certified technician, Jack Burford has what you need. Come to Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond for all of your automotive needs. Family owned and operated since 1964, Jack Burford Chevrolet is your hometown Chevrolet dealership. Check us out at jackburford.com or come in and see us today. We are located on the EKU bypass across the street from Walmart.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
The Beast of the East roars back to life for their 2023 racing season. Most Saturday nights, some Friday nights, you can take the whole family down to the Richmond Raceway for some good family fun. Watch the drivers race around the 1,584 feet clay track for some big winnings. Children 10 and under are always admitted free. Gates open at 4. Racing starts at 6. The Richmond Raceway. Greens crossing off Highway 52 East and richmondraceway.net. Unleash your inner beast at the Richmond Raceway.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
When perfect is in the air, you can feel it. Presenting the new Ultimate Comfort System from Lennox, the most advanced heating and air conditioning system ever.
Call 859-779-0122 now and get the best Lennox home comfort systems at a price you'll love. That's affordable heating and air at 859-779-0122 or online at affordableheating-air.com.
Hi there, I'm Alan Feldhouse Jr., head basketball coach at Madison Central High School. Here at MCHS, we have built a winning team. I'd like to tell you about another local winning team, family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. They specialize in roofing, general construction, and home maintenance services. Just like on the court, you need a team that will work together to get the job done, and that's exactly what BRC does. Give them a call at 859-353-1133. Road Tribe.
Talking EKU football today on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. What a fun event this has been. We talked about the schedule. They got at Cincy, at Kentucky, 2 huge games to start the year.
2 big games.
Then back home for a couple of games against Western Carolina, Southeast Missouri State. Then back at the University of North Alabama, back home for Tarleton State. Then back at Gardner-Webb, the team they talked about, knocked them out of the tournament last year. At Utah Tech, a game you're going to be going to up north. And then they got back home versus Austin Peay, Central Arkansas on the road on November 11th, and the final home game of the year against Stephen F. Austin. So a pretty big schedule, a lot of tough games.
What, 5 home games?
5 home games.
Yeah.
And I think the team will be ready for it, though. I think they've got a lot of potential this year, and it's been a pleasure up here talking to them all summer long. Now the real work starts, Samantha and Dawson.
Oh, I agree. Don't you think? I mean, us talking to them every week, it really does give you a new perspective into their lives and how they are feeling and how they actually really are bonding and responding to this team.
And you figure out more about the team and the people, the coaches, how everything's working, and it's really a great system going on over at Eastern right now. And That's a good thing it's only a month, because if it was longer, it'd just be longer. We'd have to wait.
Exactly. 5 Saturdays till EKU kicks it off at Cincinnati.
A big
on
announcement
September
tomorrow,
the 2nd. I'm
right?
excited about that one too. Matt Roan, we'll try to grab him and see if we can talk to him off the air. But hey, folks, you've seen all of our great sponsors: Bishop's, Nuevo, the Law Office of Patrick O'Neill, Jack Burford Chevrolet, obviously, Richmond Raceway, Modern Heating and Air. Go out there and tell all of our sponsors thank you for sponsoring the show and allowing us to come out here, showcase EKU football and all of our great local athletes. We'll be right back here again on Monday, next Monday, for another episode of the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.